Okay, so the newest chapter of My Hero Academia just got released, and boy howdy did this chapter reveal some big things that are definitely going to be consequential in not only the current arc, but also in the entirety of My Hero Academia. But before I begin, I have to warn you that there's major manga spoilers ahead, and if you're not up to date, you should probably click away now. Okay, so where do I begin? Well, in the last chapter, it was finally revealed that the villain Dabi is in fact Endeavor's presumed dead son Touya Todoroki, which, if you were even a teeny tiny bit interested in a My Hero Academia theories, is a shock to no one. But in this newest chapter, we got a bit more insight into what exactly happened to Touya, and also what he revealed to the public around the world in his video, which was actually a lot more than we initially thought. Now the chapter opens up revealing why everyone presumed Touya was dead. It's revealed that Touya supposedly perished in a massive fire at Endeavor's training grounds. Now it's actually not specified that the fire was caused by Touya himself, but rather suggested, as the flames that supposedly consumed him were over 2,000 degrees. It was stated that the fire was so hot it even melted his bones, with the only remains being recovered from the incident being Touya's jawbone. Now I don't care what universe you live in, being in a fire so hot your jawbone melts off has got to be extremely excruciating. Now after this is revealed to us, we are treated to some flashbacks of young Touya training with Endeavour. There's a nice little tidbit here of Toya's hair being red, but slowly growing more white, which is a nice way of covering up the inconsistencies between the anime and the manga, as the anime always showed young Toya's hair as red, whereas the manga primarily showed it off as being white. Now in the flashback, there are a couple of things revealed that caught me by surprise, one of which is Endeavor's relationship with his family. We see a young Touya actually excited to train with his father, prompting Endeavour to teach him his ultimate move. This is a big difference to how we normally perceive Endeavour with his kids, as we actually see him crack a smile and being proud of his son's enthusiasm. I mean, if we compare this to when he was training young Shoto or even to Dabi's flashbacks, he's a totally different person. It really makes you wonder, what was the catalyst that set off Endeavour's unrelenting and merciless drive to be number one? It's also revealed that he actually discussed the idea of having more children with his wife Rei rather than forcing her to have them. In fact, Rei agreed with the idea of having more kids, saying if we have siblings, they could encourage each other. This is big, as it gives us more insight into the mind of Endeavour before his great downfall. But what really caught me off guard was Endeavour's belief in Touya. It's always been Endeavour's goal to have a child that could use both fire and ice. That's why he married Rei in the first place. But it's revealed to us that when Fuyumi is born, Endeavour isn't mad that she only inherited her mother's ice quirk. In fact, he doesn't care, because he actually believes in Touya's power. Even with the overheating issues, he claims that Touya has more potential and talent than he ever did. And with this statement, we're treated to a nice visual of Endeavour, still stuck on one side of the gap between him and All Might, but he's watching Touya cross the gap over to All Might's side. It's a great callback and really shows just how much Endeavour actually believed and cared for his firstborn son. Now after this visual, we're brought back into the present, where Dabi reveals a DNA test in his video, showing a 99% match between his DNA and Endeavour's, further proving their relation. Now this is where things get really interesting. Dabi not only reveals to the world how even when Shoto was born, Endeavour's ruthless and violent tendencies didn't stop, but he also releases edited footage of HAWKS killing Twice. The footage has been edited to look like Twice was defenseless and begging for his life while HAWKS mercilessly killed him, insinuating that HAWKS didn't have to kill him but chose to out of his own fruition. This footage is displayed while Dabi reveals two massive pieces of information in a voiceover. One, that HAWKS killed Best Jeanist, and two, which is new information for us, that HAWKS' father was actually a serial murderer, aka a villain, who was stopped by Endeavour. Now for point one, we already knew as much, but the public had no idea. But point two is brand new information and has a massive impact on the world's perception of heroes. Because now not only is the number one hero a child and wife abuser whose eldest son is now one of the top members of the League of Villains, but the number two hero is now perceived as a merciless killer of both heroes and villains who is the son of another merciless killer. This causes so many implications, because now not only is the world's perception on heroes tarnished, but it also implies that the Paranormal Liberation Front are in a strange way the good guys. Remember how Stain's video inspired new villains to rise up and fight against society's false heroes? Well, now Dabi's video has added another layer onto that, by actually outing the top two heroes to the world as the very false heroes Stain wanted to get rid of. We already saw how powerful Stain's words were when the League of Villains got a massive boost in and support after his video. Now we can only imagine the implications which Dabi's video will bring. And with this revelation and crucial blow to society, Dabi dives into a headfirst attack against Endeavour, but as the chapter comes to an end, we're given a slight glimpse of hope, as Dabi is stopped in his tracks by a not-so-dead best jeanist who has been airlifted into the battlefield. All in all, this has been one hell of a chapter. I mean, we all knew that Dabi's reveal as Touya Todoroki was coming sooner or later, but I don't think we saw it turning out to be anything like this. I mean, whether or not this fight between heroes and villains ends in a draw, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that the villains are the winners of this war. But who knows, with Best Jeanist coming in to save the day, with Nejire, Shoto and Ida as his backup, anything could happen. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like, and comment what you think is going to happen next. For more My Hero content, subscribe to the Lunchtime crew. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Plus Ultra!